harder than you.
Oh! Is that so?
That is so.
Oh.
No!
Nobody can know.
2 Poes in a pod. I can harder than your Poe.
And now we're joined with a third one today.
Another dog, bro.
Our first guest. Our first dog.
Oh.
What's good, dogs? Glad to be here.
Would you like to introduce yourself, my friend?
I am Sanabs.
And I am Leon.
And this is Silas. And welcome to the podcast.
Yes. Today we have some good stuff in store for you, my friends. We have a review for Wonka, the new prequel Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie that no one seemed to ask for, but we got it anyway, because money.
And it was surprisingly
pretty good.
Decent. It was
good.
surprisingly decent somehow.
For money's sake, pretty good. I liked it. Honestly, it's one of those things where I feel like you're trying to kind of sit there and hate on it, because we all knew, no one asked for this.
Everyone went in with low expectations.
And I thought it had, really good vibes to it. For, a family film or something, it kind of reminded me of, Elf.
Yeah.
Something like that where, it's kind of hard to hate it unless you're, that much of a, cold-hearted bastard,
Yeah, they honestly, fit some, they fit some, real, real shit into it.
Yeah,
and,
real
kinda
emotion.
little, dark stuff. And
No, definitely.
They make it, a whole, like a little kids show.
No.
Everything's great. And
no, it was
whatever,
definitely
so
more adult.
really
I
showed,
think
the
there was a lot of
origin of
jokes
Wonka.
there, too, for adults to enjoy,
And I was kind of shit, wow, that's how Wonka's fucking origin was. He got tricked into some slavery, pretty much.
A migrant looking for who has a
Tricked
dream,
into the
searching for new land.
Tricked into the
Pretty much.
sketchiest contract of all time.
Dead,
Unfortunately, he could not read. Unfortunate.
But yeah, I thought the whole cast here did a really good job. In particular, I thought Timothee Chalamet was great. Is it Rowan Atkinson? Is that the guy that's Mr. Bean or whatever that was in there? The priest?
Maybe.
I think that was him.
I only know him as Mr. Bean ever since
Yeah.
the old,
he was funny though.
show.
And then Keegan-Michael Key I thought was really funny in this.
There's some good makeup too. They really made him look absolutely obese.
Yes.
Oh my god.
As the movie progresses, he just continues to get more and more fat, and it's such a funny sight gag, honestly.
I think I gained 150 pounds this week in 2 weeks.
It honestly felt like the chocolate cartel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just imagining that basically being the equivalent of those big chocolate companies that the Hershey's and the Nestle and all that, or Nestle and all that shit.
Yeah, it's totally supposed to represent something like that.
It's all these, especially when they were talking about how they were watering down their chocolate, making these fucking low grade chocolates just to sell people.
It's fucking piss chocolate, whatever.
Yeah, fuck it. we were gonna drown a couple people in there and just resell it to anyway.
That's the other thing I was wondering there too. I was like, have they done this before? They just drown people in there all the time.
That's the secret, man.
I said that they kind of whispered that to the movie.
It's cannibal chocolate.
Dude, they're fucking just gonna kill some people, leave some corpses in the fucking chocolate to people. That's how you start a plague.
But no, I thought pacing wise it was a little slow in the beginning, but I thought it picked up pretty quick. And it was one of those things where it ended up going, it didn't really end up being a problem, because I feel like you like the characters and you're kind of going on the ride with them almost. And like I said, I don't know, it's just hard. It's such a good vibe it gives off, and such an infectious vibe and everything. It's kind of hard to just be down on the movie,
It's a very up-spirited, like you said, it's also very it's very goofy, hard. You're not supposed to take it seriously or anything like that. It's a nice whimsical feeling too.
Yeah.
I like how it got whimsicalness. Basically, all surrounds around Wonka himself at the time. Yeah, the world is trying to be not goofy, but whenever it's it just
it's he still has his innocence almost.
Yeah,
he's got that innocent factor to him that so many people are just disheartened in the world now. Just they're this is a piece of shit.
A bright-eyed guy from across the seas.
Even when all of his
land.
money's being taken, he still has a good attitude. So. Yeah, I would say it's a perfect family movie for the Christmas times, honestly.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think the whole family. This is a movie definitely the whole family can go see, and you're not gonna feel disappointed. I think it does a lot within the PG confines to kind of have like adult jokes there for older audiences and stuff like that. But it's the sort of thing like when we were kids with cartoons or some of the things we watched where it's gonna fly above a young kid's head, though. It's not gonna affect them at all, you know. But yeah, really liked the movie. I thought Timothee Chalamet did a really good job, and I haven't really seen him in much either. I think the only thing I've seen him in so far is Dune, and I liked him in that.
Yeah, you're right. I don't. At least none I can think off the top of my head.
I've heard some
there's
things.
Other things I just can't remember though. But
I've heard some things he's in, but I just have. That's the only one I've seen.
Yeah,
I think.
Dune's like the only one I can really think of, or it's the most recent thing at the very least.
And definitely, I think had a different vibe from the previous Willy Wonka actors.
The Johnny Depp one.
Well, it's the only one I've seen, but even the clips I've seen of the older one, this is it's definitely not the sort of origin tale where we're seeing like why he's insane in like the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, I mean that one, the Johnny Depp one, does make him feel a little bit off sometimes the way he does it, which I like in the original. I know you haven't really seen the original, if I remember right. He's more of a, I mean, he's a little bit a little bit off his rocker at times, but I think that's more of just his. I mean, at that point, he's like he's kind of an old man just searching for a prodigy, and like and at the end of it, it's yeah, he at first he's like very disappointed. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, you kind of suck. So too bad. Thank you. Good day. Now fuck off my thing. And then Charlie, of course, just being a nice fellow, was like,
did you get any parallels with like how he was in those movies, kind of with how the Chocolate Cartel was?
I got to rewatch it again, to be honest, but I didn't really feel. It was very.
Because they were more out of greed rather than just
I think that was more of just this movie thing, if I can remember right. That doesn't really get drawn back. But the idea that like, because before he's also very like bitter in the movie originally. I think that's him growing old at that point, and you get to see him like all nice and joyful when he's young, which is a cool little thing. Who knows? Maybe they'll have another movie that's like an in between where it just dives down why he starts being kind of a little bit of a bitter person, like in the later. He's a little weird, and don't get me wrong, he's weird, but he's also like a little bit bitter towards people.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. Maybe he just got too used to being around Oompa Loompas.
I mean,
he just locked himself in the factory for a while.
I liked the Oompa Loompa guy that was in this. He was really funny.
It's kind of like people during COVID.
Yeah, just start
like where he just was in the factory for way too long and like isolated and wasn't around people besides Oompa Loompas.
Well, I think if it's kind of more on in the thing, it's like the very greedy aspect of the stuff like that. He like when you've been around for so long, I'm sure you get a little bit cynical sometimes, especially in the business world of people. I think that's more why he's like a little. Because remember, like that's the whole point of like how the kids when they're eating, they're just going around fucking around his factory, not listening to the rules half the time. Be like, oh, look at this. Oh, oh no, look, you look like a fucking giant blueberry, you fucking bitch.
Yeah,
my candy has powers. I like how that kind of got explained in this movie a little bit.
Well, I mean, it is kind of cool that he's just essentially just going.
It still doesn't really make any sense, but we see that like he just goes around the world to get like ingredients to make special candy.
Yeah,
ones that can make you float and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, I definitely admired like kind of the world building, even though maybe someone like this didn't necessarily need it, but they did a good job of it regardless.
Yeah, it was entertaining. At the very least.
And the guy that was playing the Oompa Loompa, I think, was Hugh Grant, actually.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
I know that because it popped up.
Oh, weren't you saying he was pissed, right?
Popped up on the feed where it said that it was regrettable. It was a regrettable choice of...
He's like, I hate this CGI shit.
I hate it.
He's like, I fucking hate being this orange, green-haired Oompa Loompa. It was stupid. I was short. I don't like being short.
You guys are gonna make me Trump. God damn it!
Like now everyone's gonna be making Trump fucking memes and like thinking now I'm all pro Trump and everything. It's like, the hair's not even blonde; it's fucking green. I already got people.
I got some people saying I'm pro, some people saying I'm against. I'm fucked. I'm just fucked.
Well, but
this movie's ruined my career. It has sunk me down the shithole.
I'm not coming down for Wonka 2. That's all I know.
That's it.
It is kind of funny too, the explanation how like you're getting a little bit at the start of. I'm like, even though it's only the one Oompa Loompa who's like apparently gonna be working with him at the end of the movie.
He's also the shortest one.
Yes, but the fact that I'm like, I kind of want to see it's like I like how he gets the rest of them essentially from the island. I don't know if he's just gonna strike deals or he just starts outsourcing the jobs to them or some shit like that.
You know what I think's weird? Like how I feel like it's a recent trend, but how they're getting like normal sized actors to play like midgets or dwarves or trolls or anything.
I was about to say you can't say that.
What the fuck, dude?
I don't think you can say midget these days.
Oh really?
Yeah.
What's the correct term?
Short people. I don't know.
Yeah, small people. That's pretty much
small people. I feel like that's more demeaning.
You would think, but
it's the world we're living in, man.
But
I apologize.
Can't question it, or else you're an asshole.
Apologize for my stupidity, everyone.
I don't know if that was because
people,
like Peter Dinklage was complaining about that, like from
I saw that
the Snow White and the Seven Dwarves movie.
But why? Why would I just don't get that? Because it's like
they got rid of
it's
the
like
whole
you're giving less
thing.
people. I heard some people were actually kind of pissed about that because it's like, well, now you're taking away work from us.
Yeah, and that was actually the case, and some people, and like some those actors are getting kind of screwed over, like in that sense. I'm like, they're like, what the fuck? That was our thing.
It's stupid.
That was our thing, man. Like I said, it's I don't know. It's just one of those things that seem I don't see the reason why you would complain about it.
No, it's definitely stupid.
I'm like, he got you at work and stuff like that, especially Peter Dinklage being having to be.
Well, he can't complain because he gets plenty of work now.
Yeah, no shit.
So obviously he can have whatever opinion he wants on it.
Oh, now that they'll hire him regardless. He's like,
he's like the go-to. But yeah, I guess that's a whole other separate discussion. But I thought that was kind of interesting that they're like, oh, let's use CGI and just downsize him, and it looks a little odd to me. I don't know. I guess that's what I'll say. Yeah,
it doesn't. Like it does, yeah. It doesn't seem a little bit right, but
I think that would be one of my only complaints about this movie. I noticed like the CGI was kind of shitty at points.
Also, they made the Oompa Loompas, like, I think, smaller than they're supposed to.
They did. Like, well, he did say he was smaller than some of the rest.
Yeah, but he was only like an inch smaller.
He was a lot smaller.
He's like an inch and a half smaller.
He was like the size of like the fucking chicken run. He's like the size of the chicken run characters.
Up to your kneecaps. He's still up to your kneecaps, even if you had an inch.
Yeah, which
like
they're
the
usually...
Oompa Loompas in the original were like at least waist high.
Oh yeah. No, that was definitely weird. Yeah, I don't know. It just looked weird to me.
The dude from Game of Thrones, I always forget his fucking name.
Peter Dinklage. Yeah.
But maybe that's how they were trying to make a compromise, where they were like, "Oh, we're not doing like small people or dwarves or whatever. They're even extra small."
These are even small.
Yeah, exactly.
I kind of figured that was the reason.
Yeah, probably
kind of
is.
giving it like a little bit like that elf type of like the magical creature,
like they're sitting there at the studio, like what do we do? It's like if we can't win, we can't lose. You know what we do, Dan? We make them even smaller.
Even small.
You know, let's make them the size of our
They just
pinky.
played it super safe.
Okay, that's too small.
Why would that be the case? Huh?
Well, what about
you got something against pinky people?
What about the size of this little mini fan right here? You know, I think that's a good compromise. Size of a baby, pretty much, right? Yeah, I guess it's like the size of a baby.
Hey, remember that? What was that chicken? These little chicken guys, Chicken Run? Yeah. Remember how big they were?
Making them that big,
Make them that fucking big,
like they're chicken size. I don't know.
Right? Yeah, like they're like standing next to each other, like yeah, about that size.
Sir, I'm confused. Do you want them to be the size of a chicken or the size of the Chicken Run characters?
Fuck them, make them chickens. Make them chickens right now.
Dan,
now you're
confusing me.
Fucking both. Okay, let's do both.
We're gonna
try your best.
Chickens. I can't wait for that adaptation.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
The orange chicken people.
But I think that about wraps up our review of Wonka. Definitely an encouraging review from us.
Yes, and I would definitely like to try the chocolates in this. They actually
Oh yeah,
those actually look pretty.
I would say this is definitely one you probably don't need to see in like RPX or IMAX though.
No. This is something you can definitely like rent or like if it's on streaming or whatever. Just watch it at home.
I would rent this or go see it on discount day, and don't worry about seeing it in like IMAX or RPX. Like the visuals are kind of cool in it, but they're definitely not like Godzilla or something like that.
Yeah, it wasn't like some
the
John Wick
sound
shit.
and everything is like really. You're getting the sound and the crazy visuals and stuff. I don't think it's there.
Yeah, it wasn't like mind blowing like the John Wick fucking beginning.
Like an IMAX.
Holy
I think we talked about that the other
every time.
podcast.
Yeah, we did talk about that. I was like, every time he punched, it just made me shit myself a little bit.
Did someone say that they were at a movie and like someone had a kid there, like a baby or something like that, and they were crying?
Fucking scrambled the baby's brains.
No, that did happen.
The fucking kid's fucking brain inside his skull.
It's just rattling around.
It's like
the dad's just sitting there like, oh,
fucking blendered.
John Wick.
That would definitely give a young child fucking head trauma.
Yeah. No, it was loud. They definitely cranked it to the max. Like whoever was sitting there that day was like, oh, he probably set up the projector and everything and then sat all the way in the back row like just watching it that day.
I turned this up a little more than I usually do.
No, he turned it max, bro. I've never heard it that loud.
Crank it! A little more.
That whole movie, it felt like we were in a gunfight. Like it was it felt like after you get out of a concert where your ears are kind of ringing and everything. Like after you see it. We got out. I was like, holy shit!
Fireworks.
Yep.
Like right above you.
But coming up next, we have our Chicken Run Dawn of the Nugget review.
Dawn of the Nuggets.
Yes.
Chicken.
But we have also watched the original today, so I guess you'll get a little side by side from us. What are our thoughts on the original 23 years later, and how does it compare to the new one?
And I'm sure. Well, I'm sure it'll be fine. Totally not saying that before seeing it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be a great time.
Still wish
Netflix made it.
Still wish Mrs. Tweety died.
No, I've heard good things about it, but
you'll get more of that later.
Yes.
I am intrigued.
We'll be back.
Now to our commercial break.
Back to it.
Yeah.
So, what did happen to Mr. Tweety?
Well, obviously, he after the divorce, he definitely no longer is going to be doing the chicken farm thing anymore.
You think?
Dude, would you fucking want to do like a fucking chicken farm after that? Finding out they're apparently intelligent fucking entities.
They can talk.
Yeah, that fucking talk. That can make fucking weird devices, the planes and shit out of scrap wood and all this crap, and fucking tie you down, shove you under.
Wasn't their house destroyed?
The barn was.
The barn was fucking obliterated.
The barn was absolutely nuked, gravy.
Oh, because that's where they had the chicken pot pie machine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like I went down. That house also got a little fucked over by it, but
gravy guys.
If you couldn't tell, folks, we're talking about the original Chicken Run and why one notable character from the original didn't return for the sequel.
Oh.
Mr. Tweety.
We're going into some wild fan theories.
To be honest, he's probably living a better life than he was with.
Probably had to do
his
last I solemnly swear he's most likely checked into some fucking mental health.
That's what I was thinking. He's doing
he believes he's insane. He's still seeing chickens.
What if it's like he did therapy and then it's kind of like Terminator 2 where like the fucking therapist is like, like and they're just like writing down the thing like he is totally insane. Like
every time
he's rambling about chickens.
I mean, like who wouldn't be insane after like his wife like gaslit him for fucking ever about the chickens after he's been on a whole rant like those chickens are plotting and stop being a dumb fuck, Mr. Tweety.
Cause she probably sent him out there every night to fucking watch the chickens and shit. She's so paranoid.
Every time he sees a chicken or sees a bowl of gravy, all of a sudden just gets that
PTSD moment.
Fucking hearing nothing except that rain.
It's like Gwen Stacy's dad across the Spider-Verse.
That's what, but that's what I'm saying. There's like I would like to think he got help, probably some meds after all that bullshit. Hopefully found a better wife and start a whole new a new life no chicken farm, no nothing. He's just living his best life now, like, I don't know, being a mailman or some shit.
I guess that's the ending we gotta envision, right?
His new wife and his 2 dogs.
Ooh. He's got a weed farm.
Oh, dude.
Dude.
He's growing weed
Well,
now.
this is the 60s. They weren't there yet. But I really wish.
Maybe they're using that like chicken cloaking shit they had, like, and he's got a weed farm, but then they're using it to hide the shit. Could see it.
Greenhouses or whatever that they just got them hidden and shit.
Did Mr. Tweety weed farmer? Mr. Tweety's weed farm.
So what did you guys think of the original after 23 years? I haven't seen it since I was probably probably 15 years ago or something, I want to say.
It has been
16.
It has been a while, but
classic.
Yeah, after rewatching it, I do enjoy it, especially like
still a good
the
watch
whole like
after all that time.
The whole like Holocaust feel it also gives, which is I'm pretty sure the point of the thing.
It's kind of like some sci-fi things or whatever, where it's parallels, kind of like with Twilight Zone. Like certain episodes supposed to be representing things with race or whatever. They're tackling like social issues in a way that's like fun though.
Don't dig too far deep into it.
Not too deep, but they're not going too deep with it, you know.
Well, like the first one's literally, I think they even clarified, it's basically Auschwitz for chickens in the first one. It's kind of, the parallels aren't really that fucking hidden.
Yeah.
So,
true.
But yeah, I enjoyed the first one personally. Like, it's cool. It's surprisingly kind of dark too in a lot of moments. Which,
I don't think I ever clicked in my mind when I was a kid that it was like the 50s and everything too.
Yeah.
Because I kind of thought, like you had said before we had watched it, of like it's
originally
the 90s
think it was like more
something.
modern,
yeah,
for the time, like
I think I saw that in like the description or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. I saw something that was like hinting at that.
I mean, like it's kind of hard to tell. You only see the farm.
It's kind of like an Archer thing where they don't say the 50s or do any indication besides like visual things you see that give you an indicator of what era it is.
Well, the first one didn't even really give even that, to be honest. Like I said, the whole thing takes place in a rural farm in England, essentially.
True.
So.
It's more the second one that does that, but the first one does kind of.
In rural England, does not look. Still doesn't seem like it changes half the time. So.
Well,
so anyone can.
I think it was little small things like the milk, like still being in like when your milkman used to have a milkman and stuff like that. There was like little small things like that almost.
Was that in the original?
I think so, right?
Are you sure you're not thinking of Wonka from earlier?
We watched both today, so maybe it's blending.
You're
all
fucking
three things
fusing the
two. Chicken Run, maybe I'm. The milk bottles. I thought there was milk bottles in the original one or something. No. Or was that in Wonka?
That's Wonka, bro.
Oh shit. Well, we watched all three today, so.
Fucking scrambled brain over here. Scrambled.
Whoops.
Anyway.
Whoopsie daisies.
Yeah. But
I was trying to picture it in chicken run. I'm like, I think they're what? No.
I thought it was in the original, but yeah, it's definitely just my mind blending everything from today.
Baked.
But what would you say out of all the three things we watched today you liked the most?
Well, hard to say. Wait, we haven't even talked about Chicken Run 2, to be honest with you.
We haven't.
No.
But just as a little indicator to people.
I would definitely probably say out of everything we watched today, I mean, like, I still like the original Chicken Run, but that could just be nostalgia at the time.
Yeah.
But out of, like, the second Chicken Run into Wonka, I would definitely say Wonka was probably better.
Wonka, yeah.
Out of those two specifically.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm at a point right now where, to me, like, Chicken Run 1
Chicken Run 2
and 2 were, like, pretty, like, even almost. I think Chicken Run 1 I like a little bit better. But that's just because it's, like, classic. But I think Chicken Run 2 did have a good thing, kind of like Toy Story 3 or something, where, like, if you just saw Chicken Run 2 without seeing the first, I don't think you'd appreciate it as much. It's more seeing where the characters have grown and stuff like that. And then like, not doing it in, like, a bad way.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's just, seemed a little exaggerated in comparison to, like, you would see. Nothing wrong with it.
With the second Chicken Run?
Yeah, the second Chicken Run. That was
Dawn of the Nuggets.
Yeah, the Nuggets. The Rise of the Nugs.
Which we found out today, Nuggets were invented in 1962, I guess. So
yeah, that was
might take place somewhere around there.
I introduce to you the Nuggets. Man eats his nuggets and fucking busts a nut on the fucking bed. Mommy! He literally says, "Oh, yeah, love you, mommy." Well, fuck.
I feel like there was like, I feel like that's why I like the second one too, though, and it's like I'm saying, kind of on par with the first, because it does that sequel thing where it builds up on the characters well and everything, but they still had the stuff of the original where there's like adult jokes and stuff in there. I think for like older audiences. So, yeah, and then I think the thing I really appreciate about the second one is them going into like horror kind of elements and stuff too a little bit more.
I think the first one actually tackled horror way more than the second one, to be
I
honest.
don't know. I thought like the whole thing with like them in the chicken sanctuary thing, that was like actually like just like a cult basically, or like them on like the I thought that like I don't know. I liked the way they approached that initially and everything because it made it like very creepy.
Well, like the first one had the more darker atmosphere of it. You know,
oh, it did.
A dead land basically of nothing really growing, no green really. And then it literally barbed wire fencing everywhere.
Well, that was one thing I was going to
shit.
say. Like, I think between the two of them, like, I still like the first one's animation a little bit better. Like, even though it's older and everything, like, watching that today, like, there was just, like, I don't know, like, I think the first one used a little bit more of, like, real world and the claymation almost, maybe?
Yeah, I think the second one you probably used a bit more of the
claymation.
I wouldn't doubt, like, even a little bit of CGI mixed in
Yeah,
with the claymation.
exactly. So, like, it's not that I didn't like it. They did a great job with the stuff in the second one. And there were some awesome scenes in there. But, yeah, I just like the look of the original a little bit more.
I don't know. I think they just kind of made the characters a little bit a little bit goofier than they were originally in the second
In Chicken
one.
Run 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they really fucking hammed up fucking Crowler, basically having dementia now.
Oh, yeah. He's just old as hell. He's just
instead of just
losing
being
it.
like a rambler who would essentially shut up when they're like, "Thank you, Crowler," and he's like, "All right, fuck it."
Yeah,
Fuck, all right. This one, he's just like fucking doing a hour-long speech to a snail up on the roof.
It made sense, though. He's
His old age is catching up
he's
to him
probably
these
on
days.
his like last couple days right now.
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt that either, to be honest.
It's gonna be the next movie. It's gonna start off with him dying.
Oh, Crowler's dead. And he's dead.
Or something like that. Or...
And then, like, Babs is, like, still dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, seriously Kleebach and that shit.
became like a super genius.
That would have been funny if they put the collar on her and actually did the reverse instead of turning her
I was
dumb,
kind of
it turns her
expecting
smart.
that, honestly.
I was expecting that with the rat, too, at the very end, where they had that, where he's like, "You put this on, it turns you dumb and happy. Oh, I can feel it now." I didn't turn it on. Oh.
But what did you think about the voice casts changes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were fine, too.
Yeah, it was fine. Like, I'm pretty sure it's all different voice actors, but...
Or at least
they're
for the
still
most
fine.
part, different ones. I think Zachary Levi is Rocky now. And that was Mel Gibson in the original.
Yeah, Mel Gibson.
And then I think
Melly
it's Thandie
Gibson was the
Newton is Ginger, and I don't know who she was in the original. But I don't think it was her.
Yeah, it didn't sound like her. If somehow it is the same.
To me, they
voice
sounded
actress,
pretty like
it did not sound
alike.
like it.
But I don't know if that was just because we had the movie in between. Like maybe it's one of those sort of things where if we watched the first one and then we watched that immediately after,
No.
it would have
I
been
definitely
more
could hear a
noticeable.
difference in some. I'm not. It's like close enough. I'm not.
To me, it was like the Rick and Morty
It's
one.
been
Like I said,
24 fucking years. I could or somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna blame them for not getting the same cast. I don't give a shit about that part of it.
To me, it was kind of comparable to like the Rick and Morty, the new season, where like you can tell it's slightly different, but like
Fine enough. Close
yeah,
enough.
exactly.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. That's fine. I get that.
So yeah, I thought they all did a pretty good job, and yeah, I don't know, it was definitely good to just get back with those characters and everything.
Yeah.
Definitely had like some nostalgia aspects there.
It was a
and-
very cliche though story. It's like
Yeah.
the stuff you always see, like family
Down to the
escapes
kid,
bad
too.
times. They want to create good times for their kid. They shelter the kid to the point where, but the kid's all curious
I feel like
about the outside
Shrek and
world.
so many other ones have
Yada,
done that
yada.
now, where like they have kids or whatever, and you're
Kid
kinda,
gets in trouble from
Yeah.
the fucked up, and they have to go help and save her and yada and all
just
that stuff.
I don't know. It kind of I think makes people like not like the kid characters as much because it just makes the story become way more predictable or follow like these predictable elements.
I mean, like personally, I didn't really hate the Molly.
No, I didn't
their
either.
Kid. I was more annoyed at the other dumb bitch one that was who dragged Molly on this fucking stupid.
Yeah.
convinced her to follow her dumb
Yeah.
So she's
idea.
talking
That
like,
dumb
oh,
one.
man, this fucking chicken doesn't know what the fuck is going on. Like,
Oh,
no, don't follow her.
I thought,
Oh.
She was gonna
I
help
thought
you.
she was gonna tell her that's a stupid idea. She just
Yeah.
encouraged
Don't you want
it.
your own
Stuff was
bucket,
damn
though?
right. This
It's
chicken's got some
every
sense.
chicken's dream to have their own bucket.
I thought she was an experienced like chicken that was just around the area. Like like you know what I mean, like some wild.
No,
chick
that's what
that's
I
just
was
gonna,
kind of
like,
thinking at first too. Like she just
knows the
was
ins
going to
and
be the
outs, but
experienced outdoor one or
She
something.
was
But
even less competent.
Well, like
than her.
she just came from, I'm guessing,
Literally.
some local
That's like
person's
shit.
like fucking backyard farm.
yeah, no, it
That's what
definitely
it seemed
like
like, at
something
least.
like
So
that.
she doesn't really know the big fucking industry type version of it. It's more of like a, oh yeah, they just feed us all this shit, and I don't know what they do, because she's she was still young, I'm guessing, so she didn't like know all the bad shit that happens.
Why do you think Miss Tweety kept her name?
Okay, guys, this bitch, I swear to God, is so vindictive. She stole Mr. Tweety's name.
I'm taking all your
entirely.
money and I'm taking your name too.
I'm taking everything from
He
you.
was left with no name. He had no name
You
after she
wanted-
left
you
him.
Drop that fucking door on my face.
Hey, he was just trying to collect
I'm
the
taking
life
fucking
insurance at that
name.
point, I think.
Yeah, I gotta get something out of this.
I'd try to kill that bitch after all that bullshit.
It's like if I don't do this right now, she's gonna make me sleep outside tonight.
Fuck, she's gonna absolutely fucking kill me if I don't kill her for. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe she killed him.
Ooh.
Because they never said it was divorced. They just said my now current
Oh
husband.
my god.
I'm like, oh no.
All the
She killed her.
all the
She
different
killed Mr.
theories-
Tweety.
all the different theories that could come out of this.
I know. Fucking.
They just let our imaginations run wild.
No, not Mr. Tweety. I mean, he's an asshole, but I wanted Mrs. Tweety to be the one to get. Dude, she should have died when she went through the Nugget machine.
Oh, but I love that. That was one of my favorite
mean,
parts when she was the
horrifying that
horrifying
she-
monster.
I'm not gonna lie, but I wanted to seriously see her just get like the fact when you saw her legs in the machine and slowly going down, like holy fuck, they're just grinding her down. I'm like, I really wanted the like Nugget versions of her coming out, and that Reginald dude just like, ooh,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
eat it.
There's
Like
no
a-
way.
I'm like,
they're gonna do-
Instead, they did kind of. I like that they did give us that visual for a moment though, where like, what if she was just one giant chicken
fucking
nugget? Because I thought she was dead.
Yeah.
I like how they did let you think that for a minute, like
She
she's
was
gonna
a
be
corpse.
dead. I was like, oh,
What is
like.
that, a person? A human? What is going on here?
And then it just turned into some creature feature.
Stop.
I just love how they went there with that. Like to me, that kind of like, I don't know. It really, the fact that it was like the same length as the first one, didn't go on too long. It was only an hour and 26 minutes. Pacing was very good. I thought the jokes were all very funny. It was good to get back with the characters. So yeah, I just say to me it was like pretty comparable. Like I said, I still think the first one's a little bit better, but
I
definitely a
honestly
very good sequel.
Didn't even notice that
Yeah,
the
but-
characters weren't like the
Same voice
original
actors.
voice actors.
Yeah.
It was it was a very baked movie though.
It
Fucking
was.
very
Yeah.
baked.
But to me, I think it's perfect on Netflix. You know, people can watch it and just have a good time with it, with the nostalgia and everything, and not have to think too hard about like, you know, it is like a movie where it's not like a 9 or a 10, but like,
Yeah, no.
it's a fun ride, and you're gonna have a good fun time with it, the comedy
nice,
and
like,
everything.
family movie, I guess.
just like
Yeah, you know,
Wonka.
stupid fun movie to put on like for the kid or something
Exactly.
like that. I get it.
Just like Wonka, I think, yeah, for around this time, it's definitely a good family movie for everyone to
Yeah.
watch and have a good time with.
Yeah, exactly. Though the the fucking ending of them just basically being liberators of chickens is fucking really baked.
We're gonna get a bunch of Chicken Run sequels, Simon.
We're a chicken run for 10 years, 10 years, 100 years, 100 years of chicken run.
Do you think we get Mr. Tweety back in a future Chicken Run?
Oh my god.
Or is she just gonna have a different husband every movie?
It's always going to be her, I swear to God. If it's going to be a different husband every single time, that's just going to be funny too, in a way. She's just moving on from one poor sap to the other.
What did you think of the new husband?
He's definitely a cuck. I'm just going straight singing. That dude's a cuck.
Yeah,
The
no, he
way-
definitely seemed to enjoy her, like, just fucking tormenting him.
Like, she was a bitch to him. But, like, I can't.
He's like,
where
"Yes,
you're
my
like,
queen."
"Oh." Yeah, he was. He's literally that. Yes, my queen, sweetie, my love.
He was
And
like the first one.
meanwhile,
of his,
she's like trying to get a piece from Reginald.
he was like one of the first one of his kind, I think.
Oh.
Dawn of the Chicken Nuggets and Dawn of him.
Dawn of the Cuck. Fuck.
But yes, I think that about wraps our review up of the Chicken Run film. It sounds like we all like the first one maybe a little bit better than the sequel, but
Still a fun, stupid time.
yes.
Yeah, the excessive over exaggeration of the security of that place was just like.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and the
Just
fucking James Bond
onto it.
island.
We literally said
headquarters.
Auschwitz got an
What the
upgrade.
actual fuck?
It went from like
Yeah,
Auschwitz
and
to
that-
straight
I
up,
did like that with
yeah,
the
a Bond villain.
first one.
Yeah. No, it's definitely interesting, like them making that jump, where it is like the same premise of like a prison, but definitely went from like this really easy to escape prison actually to
I'm like,
this
I feel
massive.
like Auschwitz was harder to escape. Fuck.
like they showed that like one chicken could easily escape with a spoon, just getting out under.
No,
the fence.
literally.
Yeah, I
If they all didn't just weren't stupid, then fucking they would have made it out like ages ago.
Oh yeah, and the
It's just
first
they
one,
ruined
yeah.
it's almost like they ruined their opportunity with the spoons and everything. It's like they did that trick too many times that they just caught on.
Dude, they could just dug a bigger hole with those spoons too to fit the fat one. Fat chickens. They could just dug a bigger hole, but they didn't because you know what? Ginger might be a little stupid herself too in a way.
Yeah.
After I'm like, you don't think of that.
Definitely that flaw in logic, but yes, definitely check it out, folks. I think you'll enjoy it.
Yep.
And up next, we have our show reviews for Archer Into the Cold in season 14 as a whole. And we also have our Rick and Morty season 7 review.
Yes, it's the final episode, isn't it? If I remember
Yes.
right. Can't wait for that.
The final episode coming up.
Oh.
Rick and Morty season finale and Archer series finale.
It's going to be a hell of a segment.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Goodbye.
Peace out, dogs. Row.